Hey everybody, I want to show you our current performance log. Now, just as a disclaimer, kind of a preface, this is very specific to our program and the way that we record results as well as the way that we rank them, and also including our tests. But my hope is that you can kind of take this and run with it like I have, using many different people's tutorials and stuff they put out there to kind of create my own. And if you find a way to make it better, let me know. That'll be the pay it forward. But looking at this, just run through it really quick so you have an idea. The first tab we're looking at here are the results tabs. This tabulates the whole team and provides kind of a ranking system. We'll go over a few things, but it shows your athletes, it shows the grade, it'll show the latest weight of the athlete, and then there's a point total, and we'll kind of talk about what that system looks like. It's also set up to highlight or the highest ranking. We're going to use Wilks totals for our four main lifts. All right, and then again, that will automatically pull those numbers for you based off of the maxes as well as their weights. Our four lifts that we use it for are bench, deads, inclines, and squat. For speed, we've got the 10, 20, and 10-yard fly, and that's based off of a point system out of 1,000, and I'll show you how we do that, and also as well as how you could edit it. And our power rankings are based on broad, vert, and med ball pass, also using the point system. So looking at this, ultimately what we're going to create is an athlete dashboard, and this can be printed out. I'll email this or send this to all of our athletes and families. You'll choose the athlete name there, and then it'll automatically pull out all the information for that athlete. And then just running through, it's very straightforward. But start date and latest testing date, you can just manually insert. Body weight, grade, grad year are all going to be pulled automatically, as well as results. It's going to pull previous, and kind of a caveat is previous is actually not necessarily going to be their last result. It's going to be their lowest result. So maybe that could technically be changed to lowest. It's going to pull their score for you. It's going to pull their result for you as well as their points based off the system. And they're going to show a percentage change based on the current. Again, current is actually going to be the best. So what we're really looking at are min value versus max value. And then what it'll do will automatically rank the percentile. And this is just based off of the team. Now, if you did put all of your athletes in one, it would be a percentile based off your whole program. And also just show some averages there for that specific team. Got some charts down below that are pretty straightforward. The donut chart's just showing their score. That the strength score is out of 1,600, and we can debate that. That's saying that a maximal Wilks score would be 400, which would be pretty crazy. So that's something that maybe can be adjusted. The speed score, there's 1,000 total points for all three tests, so 3,000. Same with power. And the performance score, I'm just looking at like a 5-star ranking basically, and that's how we kind of split up these numbers. But it'll automatically label their performance level, their performance score, and then chart. You see the yellow line there are the team results or the team averages, and then the athletes are the blue. Again, when you change the athlete, it's automatically going to pull up all those numbers for you. This is kind of the key to all of it. This is what provides that visual for your athletes, for your coaches, for your families. So this has been the major part of the project. Just let this load really quick so you can see it change. Now, sometimes if the results are very low or if they're missing scores, it is going to make this graph look kind of wonky, but it is what it is. So going over the tabs really quick, the way that we capture data is we do it ourselves, and I like to have it individually split as opposed to most performance databases work vertically, right? So when athlete one tests again, I've got to create another row of athlete one, put the information, then put the results. This is meant to work horizontally instead. So roster, you got to make sure that your roster is up to date so that because these names are going to autofill into all your results. Now, what if you have a change or you have an add? What I would recommend is, I'll create it for you guys automatically, but you're going to have a filter up here, and it's going to be on every page. So what you do is say, suddenly I had athlete um, I had athlete 60, but really that athlete 60, if their last name starts with letter A or B, is going to have to fit in here at the top. In order to make it automatically adjust, what I would do is just insert the information here and then use the filter to sort. But if that confuses you, just make sure the roster is correct. And you can always add names at the bottom, even though it might be out of alphabetical order. Here's your body weight. Now, don't use decimals because I'll show you the Wilks score system that we're using doesn't use decimals, so it will not know what you're talking about. Again, every time you weigh, you can just insert that here. And then what will happen on the results tab is that you can change the body weight. This is data validated, so the other dates would be inserted here, and then it'll automatically pull the weight for that date. And then we have our test tabs. They all look very similar. All right, just the date of testing, the results. It's going to pull the best. And just so you're aware, it's hidden in there. There's also the least. So like I told you, best is actually labeled as current in dashboard. Least is actually labeled as previous. Obviously, you can change that. There's the 20, looks the same. The fly, and then the broad, vert, med ball pass all look like that as well. Bench, dead, incline squat, all set up the same. And then just go over the last part here, the kind of the key to how all this works. The point system. So our point system, this uses VLOOKUP on the main chart. And the point system essentially is after collecting data for a long period of time, we kind of took our best results and made them the 75th percentile, so worth 750 points. So for example, on a 10-yard dash, some of our best results are around 1.5. We do a yard entry, so if that seems like that number's off or whatever, just kind of preface that. And then anything up from there is up to 1,000. So if that's worth 1,000 or that's worth 750, I have 250 other points, and then that kind of changes the value from that point forward. Same with the fly, broad, vert, and med ball pass. So you could change the name of any of these tests. You could change the values based off your results. Whatever you do, it will automatically carry over. The Wilks system, these are just pulled from USA Powerlifting. The links are above, and you can change the VLOOKUP based on the team. So we separate everything by team, even with multi-sport athletes. We'll just track their information across. But this VLOOKUP is used automatically, and that is what is displaying the Wilks on the results, right? So based off this weight, it pulls that Wilks score, and then it multiplies each result of the test by that Wilks score, and that's how you get your score for that, your overall score for that lift. We just do that to make it more relative in terms of strength. On our record board, we do have all-time records in pounds. We also have all-time records in Wilks scores. So check it out. Like I said, it's very specific. Be careful editing it. As soon as you go to that link, you're going to make a copy. There's a lot of stuff that's hidden just because it's pulling or doing things that you don't necessarily need to edit. But you can change any of these tests. Ultimately, you could eliminate or add them. But if I change bench on here, then I want to make sure on the dash that I change bench as well. All I have to do is change that name, right? And then it would automatically take care of those results for me. I wouldn't have to change anything else. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think.